Okay, Josh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you loud and clear.
So, and we're on live right now. We are now live on Facebook and YouTube, and we're on the radio now. Eh?
Yes.
Okay, where is Jonathan?
Oh, Jordan is in the traffic. Just not too
Okay,
long. He said he
no
just going to
problem.
work.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let us not waste our time. I know our audience are waiting, and we have people in the back. Also, please, if you listen to this show today, you can follow us on YouTube. Just go to Here Network on YouTube. Not to make it too long, you will be able to switch over. And also, you can follow us. We have a lot of pages, and we'll be sharing it to you. So please do not leave the radio. This is here Radio FM 95.9. We are live on radio and we are live on Facebook and YouTube. And today the program is Conversation with the Vision Bearer, Vision Bearer of the Care Humanitarian Organization. And in the back here, we have so many, we have permanent Liberians. And our topic today will be on education and it's hands on education. Uh, you will listen to a lot of information that we're going to give you guys out today. The first thing I want to bring on my friend and brother, they call him Andrew Kier. Andrew Kier is one of our panelists, and please, I want you to welcome him. He's live from his home, and he will be discussing a lot of things. He has a lot of ideas. So, Liberians, please pay attention and get your telephone. There are a lot of surprises in the pipeline. And also, I'm going to bring on my big brother. He's no other person but Jallo Waller, a mathematician, and he is the guy that will be telling you guys a lot of things here today. So right now we are four, and the guy who brought up this whole thing about the Care Humanitarian Organization, some people say CEO, but some people say when you say CEO, they think that's some name. So I don't really like to call him CEO. He's the vision bearer. He's no other person but Christopher Care. And please let us welcome Christopher Care. And also in studio there, he's no other person but George Wood. George is there and it's live on 95.9. Now we're talking strictly humanitarian work. There's no politics. We are talking about Liberia, and our topic today is on about education. Which type of education? So they will tell us they have a lot of ideas. The man you see Wallo over there, he's a teacher, he's a professor. And I always make the example that Mr. Wallo, Jalo Wallo, could sit in America and teach if we have that and good internet service where he can just teach our students when it comes to math and whatsoever. But we're not going to waste your time. So let us just put it out there. How are you, Kia? How are you, Mr. Wallo? The first thing, Mr. Kia, Andrew Kia, how are you today?
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. You are loud. You are live on radio right now.
Great, great. I'm great. I'm fine. Today is the last Sunday in the year. It's a joy. It's a blessing for all of us, my family, and the rest of our family. And so I'm glad to be on this platform. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll let me call him the professor, the mathematician. And Mr. Wallo, how's everything with you today? How's the family?
Oh, the family is fine. I want to thank you for having me on. I think it's a pleasure and an honor to be on this platform. I want to thank you and the Care Network for inviting me.
Okay, thank you. And let us hear from our man himself, Chris, the CEO, the vision
Yes,
bearer.
I just want to say thanks to everyone for coming on. Thanks to our new panelists, two new panelists that added onto the today's show. Welcome, and we're gonna have a great time. And thanks to the audience, and we're gonna be, very prompt to our discussion. Thanks for
All
coming.
right. Thank you. Also in studio, I got our chief technician, the guy who behind everything, who produced the show, is George Gued. George, how's everything with you? How's the traffic?
Really, yeah, the traffic is
George,
very,
you there?
very. Yes, I'm here. You can hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, the traffic is very, very free because after the season and today is Sunday, so everybody's home resting for tomorrow to start another fresh week.
Okay. All right. So today our topic is on education. You know, the Kia Humanitarian, we have so many platforms. We got what education, we have agriculture, health, water, and sanitation. So, but we on education. Education is a very big topic. But we want you guys to come in, and I will start with Mr. Wallow. We've been talking on so many things: how to get people off the street, how to help other Liberians who started and dropped along the way. But we're looking at vocational schools, so vocational education, because there are a lot of people in Liberia that you don't need to say they can go back to class. Some of them 40 years old, some of them were 14 when the war started and they were in the third or fourth grade. Today you can send your children back to school. But we just don't want to be giving them $5 and whatsoever. What ideas you think you can help? What you have in mind? Because you in the educational service and systems, you teach people, you mentor a lot of people. So let's hear from you. How you think we can help our brothers and sisters back home that tomorrow they will be better citizens?
Oh, okay. Thank you. If you're talking about getting the kids who are in the street and you want to give them some sense of livelihood, there are a number of things you can do. I would just probably start with the first one. The first one is getting kids assigned to mechanic shops. Uh, Negotiations can be made with the owner of the shop. The kids can go there, or uh, those that will be selected can go there and get some hands-on training there. And but again, it will require some structuring. Like for instance, you got to know what kind of a skill set that you want them to have, and that has to be communicated with whoever they're going to be working with in the shop. And then when they leave the shop, in fact, another thing again is the duration. How long will the training last? And thirdly, when they leave the training, will there be plans in place for them to be able to do something to carry on that craft that they have learned? And then I don't think they should go there to learn how to fix transmission and all of that. There are some simple things they can do. Learn how to change brakes, uh, stuff like that. Learn how to change the fluids, the different fluids in the car. Those are things they can do. But again, when they leave the program, there should be plans in place that will be able to carry on the craft and make some livelihood for themselves and their family. I will stop here for now.
Okay, that's good. And Mr. Wallow putting in a good point, and we thinking about it. But let me hear from my brother and Andrew. And you see the good thing about if you listen to us, please, I want you to pay attention. These people, they are Liberians. They worry about Liberia every day. Some of them, they wish they had a hand to do more. But we from the Kia Foundation want to listen to them and listen to you. That's why we are going to relax and listen to them because we got things, but we need their ideas. Like Mr. Kia, who's going to speak right now, he understands the theory. I always was a theory management. So let me hear from my brother what you have in mind, how you think we can get these children. Not only the Zogo, they got other Liberians who started and just stopped because of financial difficulties. So let us hear from you. So let's just go. Give me 2 minutes of your time or 3 minutes, and then we can come back to it.
Thank you, brother Kishan. Um, you know, an educated society is very key. Is very key for the for nation building, for the future of the people. And so, when you look at our own Liberian society today, I know we've said a lot about what the war has done to our country. And what the war has done to our country has led the country to a broken society in terms of education, has led the society into a broken society with respect to the meaningful things that has to do with education. And so, like we rightly said, there are folks who, before and after the war, got so affected to a point that some of them cannot go to school today. They're so ashamed. There's those skills that are lacking. So my concern right now with respect to that too is about the interventional point where, say, people who want to help the Kia Foundation and other institutions that are doing what they are doing, how well can we, or where do we tend the entry point? This is not like reinventing the wheels, but it's about a broken society and how best all of us can be able to engage the challenges that we have. Today we have like the Zogos. Those are great Liberians. Those are people that I believe that we can all change to have a very positive society, a very working society. So one of the approaches that I would want to also see happening is about the role of the youth and sports ministry. What have they done over the years with the challenges that we have? Then we also want to work with even the gender ministry with respect to young girls and boys, the gaps that we have in the society. Because all of these things, if we will be able to attack this youth and the fabric of the society that really needs help, all of that will come together tomorrow to making a decent society. And one of such, to narrow down the issue of education, we say vocation. Vocation is key because it's a learning by doing. Now, as to how we approach that, we have to know where is the problem today. How far has this problem come? What is the damage that has been caused? To what level has government been able to intervene? Where it is that others too who are in the private sector, be it those who are attacking the issue from maybe the drug infested society, what have they done? What all of these things, if we can tap together, we can all meet to some point to having a way forward. So I think it's an opportunity for us to trade minds with those on the ground and what needs to be done, and then we can all try to engage the problem in a step-by-step manner to making a progress.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kia. And this is a very interesting topic. I've already seen people texting me directly. Please, you can leave your comments on there, and there's no way I can just say anything, but I'm reading the comments. But I want to go back to Mr. Waller. I'm not going to come to the CEO right now. I know I like to see what people talking. I saw Mr. Waller have picked up something from Andrew. So, Waller, do you have anything to add on what Andrew just said?
No, what I think is that I agree with all what he's saying, but again, we don't want to. I don't think the thing is to do it for everybody. I know you're not doing it for everybody, but you got to look at the what's the which group, what's the critical group that you want to help.
Mm-hmm.
You got to start off from there.
Yep.
The critical group that you want to help, you start off from there, and then when you have some successes in that area, then you can expand the higher things you're helping. So we need to define which group we want to help first, the critical group, and do things, programs that will be very impactful to that group. I'll
Okay,
stop there for now.
yeah, for like example, let's go back to our disadvantaged youth. We talk about sending some of them to mechanic shops, sending some of them to carpenter shop, different areas. But our biggest challenge in there, when they leave that garage, where are they going? Where they will sleep? Some of them living in the street already. So that's a bigger challenge. And also, there are other organizations that are already there on the ground that are helping kids off the street of drugs and whatsoever. So now let's talk about partnership. Like I will go back to Andrew. Do you have anything on mind, Andrew, that says if we chose not to go that route, because if we're taking kids off the street, we must have place for them to sleep, what they're going to eat, how they're going to do the lessons or whatsoever. Because we can't just put them in one garage, which is a good thing. But when they leave that garage, where are they going? How are they going to eat? Yes, people will give them money, but how are they going to study the lesson? So do you have anything on mind? Like there are a lot of other organizations too we can partnership with that they can help and we help and move forward. And then again, I agree, we got to look for the vulnerable. The first, we got to start, they call it the baby steps. Which one is most important right now?
Yeah. So again, you will not want to invest in vain. What do I mean by that? You we who we intend to be of help to, we have to be more certain in terms of the person willingness to the program, in terms of the person's ability to also be able to buy into what it is to develop them. So for those in the streets, they do have family. I mean, they would be the best source of information with respect to if I wanted to be of help to you. Where do you live? Is there any family member that we can also get in touch with? Because when their family is also part of what you're trying to help, trust me, it helps you who trying to help them. Another group of people that we believe that we can also have that sustainability in terms of the output and the longevity or the sustainability of what you want to have achieved will be those who are also into other programs. Look, I follow this gentleman called Joshua Milton Bly, right? His name is Joshua Milton Bly. I mean, I've been
Yeah.
away from Nigeria for a while. And then I also follow my own brother, or junior brother now, a senator now in the Liberian government, Senator Dillon.
Yeah.
As to what they are doing in Liberia, which those are great steps. Now, those are people in terms of drug eradication. If there can be other vocation attached to their desire to be clean of drugs and for the betterment of society, those are people that we can also try to engage, partnership with, and say what best can we do in terms of profession. There are a lot of vocations around, and those are kind of people that we can also reach out to and help to make life more better for them. When one has a vocation in terms of some training, trust me, it tends to give them that confidence in society and will be able to add value to our society. So those are approaches I think that we can also adapt.
Okay. Thank you. Let me get back. Let me get to Chris. He has not said anything. Maybe he want to say something on this. And CEO, what are some of the ideas? Because everything they are saying here is something that we talk behind the scenes and how we want it to go and how we want this foundation to be like. Because yes, we're not United Nations, like what Mr. Bolo just said, and we cannot help everybody. And I continue to remind people, we cannot help everybody. Even the United Nations can do that. So, what are some of the things that you have on mind? Like we listen to the two good Liberians speaking. What's coming to your mind right now?
I mean, the two previous speakers said it said it all because we have to target certain groups of people in Liberia because if you don't do it, actually, then our assistant or program direction will be, it will probably lay on a very, will probably lay somewhere else that will not be fruitful to the society, what we're actually trying to do. So taking one person from the street means a lot because that would have been one bad person in the society that would have done damage or whatever it is. So helping even one person, it means a lot to the society. So we have to be careful who we actually go after because they got drugs, addicts in the street that probably you want to invest in, and they will not, they will not have a very good, input to your dream or your goals. So we have to go. I think Mr. KSA or Andrew, we are going after some of these established organizations that deal with the youths and through the drug rehabilitation program, we can use some of the resources and the individuals that have been through those programs to use them because And I think we will run a race going directly from the streets to target Zogo or members or whatever how you call them. Because like you said, Andrew said, oh, and also Mr. Wallow, that these people, when you want to help them, it's not just helping them, but you have to also provide sustainability, the food, houses, housing, and so that not just sending them to school. So that's some of the risks that we will be running into. So I think we have to go after some of the established organizations that are also in charge of these kids. You can go from there and partner with them, like you said. That's how I think that's the route I think we should go.
Okay, and if you listen to us, we are live on radio and 95.9 on the Kia radio, and we are live on Facebook and YouTube. So follow the page, and you can go to YouTube, especially if you're like, bro, I know the data not easy, or you can follow us on Kia Network also on Facebook. And those of you who are watching, you can share the video with us. And Mr. Kia have said it all, young men who want to give back to his communities. And but everybody bring out this idea. I will go to Mr. Wallace. And if I were to ask Wallace now, I said, we got our kids in the street. I met some of them who I was surprised. Three of them work with me, and I see them laying blocks. I see them trying to learn how to do tasks and whatsoever. So that came to my mind. So, Mr. Waller, if we ask you right now and say, what do you think in like, bro? And for those of you listening, don't listen, don't mind these people. They follow Liberia more than you. They might be living out of Liberia, but these people they have hands on. They follow the system. They know what's happening in Liberia. They can still tell you all the little rules that is fixed or not. So, Prof, which are the groups in your mind that you think we need to target first? If we ask you, like, say, give us that advice. The children in the street, or people who maybe try and they drop out, or maybe people who trying to learn something, or which are the group you think we should go after first?
I would think, let's say those in the street, right? But then you will need to have, I don't want to say an interview process, but a way of identifying the ones that you want to help. And then you can, as Mr. Kia said, you can bring in some other people who already on the ground are doing stuff like that, working with these guys, the groups there, the ones in the street. They would be able to tell you, say, look, from our work here, these students here, this group of people here are the ones you should help. Are the ones you should target. All right. Then you target them. You design the program. The program has to be structured, because you need to know what kind of a skill sets you want them to have. And as I said earlier, you will have to discuss that in negotiation with the places they're going to be working. All right. And there should be a duration. I don't know whether 2 months or 3 months or stuff like that. And they shouldn't be there to be helpful. The owner of the shop would send and say, oh, go buy lunch for me and all kinds of stuff there. No. That's why I say it should be structured. The skill sets are there, the duration, and then when they are done, you can't just leave them like that. You have to put program in place. Are you going to help them to open the small stuff, 2, 3 of them, where they will make some money from what they just learned? Because again, the reason why I'm stressing the duration is that you're probably not going to help. You just don't want to help 5. So if there's a duration, the first group want to leave, you got other people there that they're going to go. You're going to send them. You're going to disperse them to the different areas. All right. But again, we got to look down the road, because if you just send them and they get the training, and there's no way for them to make a living out of that training, they're going to go right back on the street. So we got to start thinking of what can we do when they leave, when they finish the training. What are we going to do?
Yeah,
Are
you
we going to find a way to? Yeah, I'll stop there for now.
You try to them down. You just brought in another, because even the good ones who are graduating from the University of Liberia and other universities don't even have a job. So if these children leave or shop or leave, they say, oh yes, 6 months, we keep it for 3 months or 6 months because anybody can learn how to change your brakes in 6 months or 3 months. You'll be good. But when they leave, who going to employ them? Are we going to really start something for them or are we going to do something? So all these things, we got to think about it. Or we can try to hustle to get them somewhere to work, or maybe that's where the Ministry of Youth and Sports and government comes in. Maybe the government will be able to employ them, send them to GSA or assign them to other ministries to be able to do something until they can get on their feet. So all these things, that is why the partnership now comes about. Because listen, you can get everything, you still have to partnership with other people. That's what even the United Nations partnership with NGOs, other NGOs to do the work for them. So we will have to partnership with people. We got to talk to government. It's not politics, but we got to get involved with the government. We got to talk to other organizations. So, Mr. Waller, you just hit the point, and maybe Mr. Kier and Andrew have something to add on that. We can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Okay, now we can hear you.
So trust me, vocation is the way out. It's the easier path to leaving the tertiary education. It's more affordable, that you can easily be able to gain skills that will more or less make you to have that confidence in society. But one of the things that I want to stress here is that as much as we do these things, we should do so having in mind that there is a government on the ground, where you work with its the Ministry of Youth and Sports, to know exactly where are we. It's not about wanting to take on the government and say this is what I'm about to do, but that they help you to also give you statistics as to the challenges on the ground. What is it that they are doing with respect to even the Zogos that are in the street? And then we talk about working with also other established institutions, because what you are trying to also do is to see whatever intervention they must have done, there are still gaps. There are still gaps that we can also intervene to be able to meet them halfway. When we do that, it becomes like a collective effort to developing the skills that we want in our society. Now, for some of them, it might be an issue of maybe, oh, I want to attend LOIC, or I want to attend even MVTC, but I don't even have a means in that direction. So that's another batch. That's another group of people who also are just looking for a way out, besides just the ones who are in the streets. So as much as we also stretching that we can't do it all, but you can do it part and parcel of where the challenges are. You have folks who have graduated from high school and they're just there, nothing doing. Those are people that we can also tap in such a society to say, let's know what it will cost maybe to go to an MVTC, or to go to LOIC, or to go to maybe BWR. Those are skills that you can develop and you still are adding value to the society. But our key, and I want to borrow from Mr. Wallow, what the critical point is, we need to place that focus there. While we have that focus placed on it, we can also be a part of other layers of the problem with respect to education and still be a part and parcel of it. So I hope I'm making sense in that direction.
Yes, thank you guys
Yeah.
for making it.
Can I just add something quick before it goes out of my mind?
Come in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So again, they got vocational schools in Liberia, I'm sure.
Yep.
Okay. They got vocational schools there. Now, when they leave, when the children graduate, are there jobs waiting for them? I don't think so.
No.
Maybe a few. Maybe a few.
No job, yes, few.
So that's why I said we look at the vulnerable individuals. Like for example, those that are in the street. If we do 5 or 10 or 5 every 3 months, whatever the structure of the program gonna be, the training and the duration. All right. But again, I think the difficult part will be when they graduate. When they graduate, what will they be doing? Are we going to help them? So if they want to do, say if they want to open a tire shop, we should be able to provide the stuff for the tire shop. Maybe 2 3 of them can work on that tire shop. And when people see what you're doing with the little that you're doing, people will come in, and then you can begin to spread out what you want to do for other vulnerable populations.
Yeah, with respect, let me get out to what Mr. Wallace saying, what he said. Yes. So if we want to be part of the nation building exercise, okay, vocational education is the way to go. So when we graduate these people, they have to be actually, fitted in the society. Like, let's say I become a mechanic over 5 to 6 months or a year, let's say, okay, and there's no employment for me. I just, I will be tempted going back to my roots, what I used to do to get, because that's all I know. From the beginning, I've been, being a Zogo or whatever it is. So if there's no employment, I did the entire vocational training, and there's no employment for me. So we will actually do some, like on our part. Okay, like this is a long-term and short-term planning process, guys. So as an organization or NGO, we have another type of resource that we can keep in the pipeline to say, well, we graduated 5 or 10 mechanics, and in our program, we need to actually open a mechanic shop that will be called Kia Humanitarian Foundation, or Kia, or how do you call it, mechanic shop, and our people will be working there that will help the graduates. The same with computer, the same with agriculture. We can open a farm and people can be like, so these are the short-term planning process will give rise to the long-term goals that we will plan. Okay, so what we're doing now will have to give rise to the long-term planning process.
Sure.
Well, CEO, thank you. And you see, that's why it's always when you have these programs, you bring people on. Wallow just strike something, and like mine. Before I could, and things are just talking off my mouth. Like there are certain programs that you can put children in when they come out. You can even assist them, or you yourself can open somewhere. Mr. Wallow talk about tire shop, and tire shop and mechanic shop works together. If a child, or you send someone to be a carpenter, do a carpentry, when he leave, he can even open a carpenter shop. You can give him tools and then open it, or you yourself can open it. And at the end of the day, you just open your own training center for them to learn, and that group will train another group and train another group. So you see,
Sure.
so want to just open the thing, and then Chris got it, and that's the same thing that came to my mind, because everybody who graduating from the schools have no jobs, nothing. Even a mechanic shop cannot even employ them. But if we have a small little place or open a tire shop within that mechanic shop, at the end of the day, they will start working there. Then right there at the big plants, and then you have your own where you start training people. So it can be your training facility. They will make money from there. When you look, they start supporting themselves and they start making the money. So you see why it's good to bring people. Also, Waldo, that's a very good point that you're striking. Maybe Andrew can come in, and I will bring another guy that I want to get on here. They call him Josh Williams. He just texted me. He want to say something, and he's in Maryland. So Andrew, come in. Maybe you have something else to say.
Yeah. Another thing that is of concern, is the issue of the vocational institutions in Liberia. This is something that President Talbot, President William V.S. Tubman, they all started with. finding that middle class in terms of education. So there where you had the multilateral institutions and then all of the vocations that we find in Monrovia. I know most of these things are broken down, but we need to also build that relationship with all those institutions because vocation, when it comes to vocational education, it has that flexibility with different learning styles and lifestyles. So as to what it is that MVTC can adapt, the foundation can also be a part of it to know exactly people that they can also send to those institutions. So the relationship with those vocational institutions will also help to more or less like getting a lot of people from the streets or people who graduated from high school because it's like each one teach one. Trust me, one person success will spread on to another group of people. So when you do it like that in terms of our contact with the vocational institution, that will also be another platform. And from there on, you will see so much. It can be those who graduated maybe you call the drug addiction program, and some may have the need to go to do electricity, maybe to LOIC. So once the foundation sees such a people and know that they can be of help to them, that's another group of people that we can always be able to help. At the end of the day, vocation. For me, I'm more interested in people picking up skills. Skills set the pace for even career path. When you have those skills built from secondary education to college level, you will definitely have the way out and say, what do I want to do in college? Now, for our society today, oh man, there is a saying, it's a all of us cannot be chiefs. There got to be Indians. If we have all these college graduates, oh man, it will be a complete chaos. I'm not against people going to college. I have been teaching also in school, so I'm interested in having a society that will have a middle class. And vocation paves the way. If we can do that and invest with people who started the process and work along with the government, there will be so much that we can achieve.
Okay, you're right, and Mr. Kia, and you know, Chris brother. So when I say Kia, I see Chris looking at me. I love. For those of you listening to us by the way of radio, we'll open the phone line. You will give us a suggestion, and you will say whatever. But please listen. I know everybody wants New Year. Everybody wants something. Let's just stick to the topic. At the end of the day, we'll surprise you guys. So please don't call us today and tell me you're hey hacking or this happening to you. That's not what we're doing today. I'm telling you now. So please, if you open the line, just give us a suggestion. There are people out there that needs our help. We just don't want to be giving you food over and over, and every day you come, we'll give you $5, and we're not even helping you. You guys are smart enough. You are smart. You are look, not because we're in America, but you people are you are precious to us. That's why we're doing this thing. So please get your phone ready, and we'll open the lines, and you will give your suggestion. So let me come back to the CEO. So the CEO is saying that. Now, as an organization, we are prepared to partnership with other people. Now, what you trying to say, CEO?
Yeah.
Now we prepare to partnership and a lot of other good organizations out there who started this thing before us. We are just in the we are in the crawling stage. First we were sitting, now we're crawling. Very soon we'll be walking and we'll start running. And we're not stopping because this is a long term thing. So we're taking our time, we're taking the baby steps. So they got the Delon place, they got Blai, they got different organizations. I saw one in Banjo. So we're
Mhm.
partnership with a lot of people. But let's say this, and I'll go back again to our disadvantaged youth and we call them Zogo or whatsoever. These people are smart people, but we need to vet them. We need to do things. We got everything in place, but we just need to have that conversation with them because they got to be willing now. All these
Yeah,
things we're doing, if they're not willing,
you
forget it.
can.
You can give them everything. At the end of the day, they're going to get high. They're going to smoke it, and then you even gave them money to start business. In less than 2 weeks, it gone. I've seen it for myself. I did it for a lady, and she came right back again, begging and say, "Oh, give me the next try." But it's not an easy thing. We can't continue to do such a thing. That's why We got Mr. Waller on the show, and we got Andrew on the show. Andrew will be one of the permanent panelists. Maybe he'll be my co-host. And when Mr. Waller say that he don't usually do these things. All he know, he go to class and teach his children and give them the brain. But all this thing up for him, but we have to force him. So when people here listen to him, the old policeman, and he's a professor that can teach man. He's a good man. You see, all these things our brains are on this side, they're giving it to white people. Imagine his students are all white. And what about Liberia? But we can't pay Wallow. But don't you know that we can use Mr. Wallow to teach on Zoom and teach classes? But how can we do that on no internet? So that go back. All these things, all part of the education. We got so many things on our plate. But my people, you got to help us. You got to be willing for us to help you. Please don't twist, don't try to bend everything here. So let me go back to Mr. Waller again. Mr. Waller just bringing a point and we're just hitting it and we're just hitting it. That tire shop you talk about, we can open a tire shop, we can open a mechanic shop together. We can do so many things. I want you to go back again. How you explain it? Let me hear from you. The way you said it, but you went too far. So please come back again.
No, what I'm saying is that the tire shop is just an example. All right, uh, changing tire, learning how to change tire. I don't think it requires to be a rocket scientist or stuff like that. Rocket science, no. Changing fluids in the car, those stuff, right? Those are stuff. Those are things that you can give to, or you can train the guys that are in the guys that are in the street. And when they're done, the key is that when they are done, you can't just tell them to go. No, no, no. They're gonna go right back. You got to have program. If they want to do a tire shop, the 2-3, you got to find means of providing the equipment to take the tire out and all the kinds of stuff there, so that they can get their own stuff. You've taken them off the street, and they're making money. They're making money off of what they just learned. And I think we shouldn't spread our wings. We should be focused. We should be focused. And then when you do that, and even people in the community, in the country, when they see what you're doing, others will come. And I'm sure the Care Network probably has a way of tapping into other organizations, humanitarian organizations, that it will bring in when they're about to expand the program. Leave it here with the MVTC. Then we know vocation is the key. But what's our focus now? We want to take people off the street and provide a means of livelihood for them so they can get off the street. That should be our focus. But as I said again, taking them to the mechanic shop or whatever for training, I think that's the easiest part.
Okay.
But when they are
So-
done,
So what he's saying in a nutshell is, like, what's the use of maybe doing this, but at the end of it, there's no employment. They would still become unemployed, and
exactly.
so the sole purpose of what we're trying to do will be useless. That's what it actually is about. So, but it's a 50-50 chance, right? So that you can never be right. I mean, the country itself is in such a ruin, like this, the position we're in now, the jobs not ready, forthcoming to say, well, we're gonna have, a lot of employments coming. But if we have the self-readiness based on our established vocational experience are going to be put in place. So when the time is about to start, like putting these things in place, we'll have people that will, rise to the occasion. So that's what we're trying to do also.
Yeah. Okay, before I go to Andrew, Wallo just said something here. Another thing, if you put them into a mechanic shop, their chances of working in our mechanic shop is slim. It's wishes they can do that because sometimes when they're so good, they gotta say, listen, you can stay here with us. But putting in a mechanic shop, we gotta know where they're gonna sleep, what they're gonna eat, we gotta know their families and whatsoever. Or we open our own. But if I ask Andrew, I got a brother and which when it comes to education, he's part of it. I know Wallo and you I know Andrew know him very well. His name is George Willen, and he's our brother to me because through Dr. Paul. But let me ask Andrew. There are so many professions. They got mechanics, they got the carpentry, they got masonry, they got different. Which of the area you think we can look into? Because we're choosing now. So okay, we're going to. He said when we put them in the mechanic shop, it's quicker for them to be able to make money, or carpentry, or catering, or something be able to bake, to sew. There are a lot of other things they can touch us. So which way? If I actually I say, give us the first pool you think we can target right now.
Well, it's like somebody saying all of us cannot be mechanics.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we tend to also look at what is very key to our society that we deal with on a daily basis. For example, you see people are doing a lot of construction with building, people who want to maybe lay blocks, misery, that's another way out because the country is not building. I mean, people will need young people, technicians, men and women to be in the field and even doing construction work. So that's something that we have to also look at. I mean, to create that employability. The next thing has to do with also, like we say, fast food restaurant in this country. Um, what's about bakery? People who do baking, that's another area that is easier because everyone needs food. If you can provide that service, people will always be there to also buy from you and you have income. And then you create employability to where you have a restaurant or a bakery and everyone, you can have means of being able to support. So you have that, you have the mechanic thing, you have the carpentry stuff too, where folks that will be trained can also have something of their own. I'm also interested in where whatever profession they learn that they can also have that low, what we call you, that collective effort to having that little business established that they can also earn, or that little partnership that they can earn something or be able to sell something to people. That's another way out in terms of capacity building. So it's not just about mechanic shop. It's not only about just bakery, but carpentry. You go into even road technician. I mean, I work with Ministry of Public Works. The Ministry of Public Work, even for the road works, those are people, the road technician. You can train people in your area that Ministry of Public Work can also help to say what can we do with such people with training they've had or the low common mindset that they have that they can also be part of the maybe laying, I mean putting quota or cleaning the roads. Those kind of work or those handiworks, those are things that will have mass population in there to be of help to the society. So those low-hanging fruits activities that we can just, we can bullet point them and see how is it workable in our society. And you can train people in that direction.
All right, thank you. And we have gone 48 minutes, 39 seconds so far, and we'll be taking our little break. But before that, I want to bring my brother, and I call him George Willen. I think he's a doctor now. If I did this one left book this year, but I'll bring it on. He's no other
Oh,
person but George Willen. So let
yeah.
us bring George Willen in from all the way Maryland.
How you
And
doing,
George,
Judge? How you
welcome to
doing?
the Kia Network.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Moni. And thank you to my brother and friend, Andrew. Chris, we haven't met, but
Yeah.
it's great to be in your company, Mr. Wallo. Um, Looking at that name, I'm sure you're from the region, Grand Cru, somewhere there. We say Wallo.
I'm
Yeah,
a
I'm
little,
from Kansas.
I'm a little Maryland. The potent, impotent, so you know he, you
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
yeah. But thanks to Moni for the invite. Moni and I actually family. My mother is a Bidel, and so we go way back, and I'm happy to be here. I'm an educator, and so any opportunity to lend my voice to the process, I see it as an honor. What you guys are contemplating is pretty laudable. We go back to the BWIs, like other speakers have said, the BWIs and the MVTCs. One of the missing pieces we've seen over the years is, yes, we've provided the education, but there's not what's called the business incubation component to it. And what business incubation is simply, you train your trainees, graduate, there's a place for your trainees to go, and your trainees graduate from that transition point onto independent business people, becoming independent business people. I think one of the places we've not laid emphasis on is in business incubation. We train these people, we provide them no resources to enable them become independent enough to move on to the market. Now, government, and this is where government comes in, government is the largest consumer of goods and services in the country. But government is the least likely to buy goods and services made in the country. And that is a paradigm that needs to be shifted. And we can all shift it with the platforms like these to begin to push for government to not only receive and accept these programs in the country, but to consume the products that are out of there. Our country people say you don't give people food, you're not eating yourself.
Sure.
So if we are producing it locally, why aren't we consuming it? Before I moved to this country, Andrew, my shoes that I wore was made by a guy from MVTC. Now, what do you call it? Don Bosco.
Yep.
Not MVTC, from Don Bosco. Daniel. Daniel used to be in an unfinished house opposite Maritime Bureau. And I will always stop there, and I found out about Daniel through Dr. Oliver Duncan, who too bought his shoe from Daniel. And those shoes were good. Now, Andrew, people, you and myself who roam the hallways like hell, you know that you don't just buy any kind of thing and put it on your feet. But so I was encouraged to wear Daniel's shoes. But did I have the capacity to take Daniel to the next level? Did government see an opportunity there? No. So Andrew, I could go on. Many knows I talk a lot, but I wanted to give you a couple of pointers. Business incubation. It's not just training people, but those graduates have to go somewhere where the whole business sense and working with customers, customer service, all is incorporated in the incubation process so that they build clientele. In 6 months or a year, they move on for other people to sit in their step. And they don't just move on, they continue to pay until they die. They pay back because they have a responsibility to bring other people on as they graduate into independent business people, bring other people on, you know, and there's something we can talk more at. But in terms of targeted areas, Moni, targeted areas, we talk about tailoring. Somebody mentioned that. We are buying our police uniforms, our army uniforms out of China.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility we could make those uniforms in Liberia? Yes. Could we pay less? Yes. Could we create jobs through doing that? Yes. Will it cost the government more or less? It will cost the government less. Yes. But we have more jobs. That's one area. Carpentry. All of the guys making beds and tables and all that kind of thing. Can government set aside a component of their purchases to local production? Whether that chairs, that tables, or whatever it is. I mean, those details can be there. But even more importantly, one of the places our money, and I say our, the ordinary people spend more money, is on roofing in Liberia. Andrew, roofing, those thin sheets, Chinese sheets, those people bring into the country. Can you imagine if we start to produce thick plastic sheets of roof? You go on TikTok, you see all those different things the Chinese people are doing. If we begin to go into roofing technology, just roofing technology, open a school to just train people how to use even concrete. Andrew, I live in Korea. Most of the roofing, traditional roofing, is made from bricks.
Wow.
Made from bricks. So we start to innovate roofing materials so that people are now building to ensure that they can use utilize the technologies, we'll be going somewhere. And so let's try to do in the process, let's think differently, let's act differently, let's package it differently. So those are the three contributions I wanted to make. And I will stay on just in case I'm able to contribute a little more to the conversation.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Williams. I like what you just said. There's so many things that we can do in Liberia. Our government, they don't need to go to China to get furniture. Right in Liberia, like Chris and myself was talking, we were looking for desks, we were looking for chairs. And I said, listen, the thing is right here. I can fix it. You don't need to push them. You don't need to go places. But they themselves will travel and bring all the things out, but they cannot even push the people. So this is also some of the things we're talking about. Because when we train these people, how are they going to sustain it? How are they going to pick up? Because all our graduates just walking in the street, no jobs. Everybody got a photo. Everybody looking for government jobs. Nobody want to help. So that is why we got you guys on. But let me just take a quick break. And those of you who are listening, we're going to take a quick break. This show is sponsored by The Amazing Care. And let's just take this quick break and you can take your water and what's it.
This is Amazing Care Home Health Services. This is a home health agency. We send nurses and home health aides to patients' homes and take care of them, provide medical and non-medical services for them in their homes. So that's what we're doing. This is the office space where the high-end process is rendered.
Also the assisting admin at Amazing Care. I've been with this company since 2014 when we were making nothing. And we were literally in the basement of our apartment. This is how growth have brought us this far. 2-bedroom apartment, and we were literally using the basement and the garage space to carry on this business. And because of growth, we moved here on 2019, and we've been here since 2019 doing this. And God has been so.
Okay, we have some difficulty back there. Okay, let's just go. I'm going to go back to studio and we'll try to get some calls from the public. I see a lot of people texting me. But please, the number will be put up there from Liberia, and also the WhatsApp number will be put in there. And I want our guests to listen to the callers because I will ask you if you can contribute towards whatever questions they're going to ask. So, Josh, are you in the studio there? Are you listening to me? George?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Can you
Yes.
open, can you open the phone line whenever anyone
Yeah.
coming in? Let us know. And Mr. Waller, do you have anything to add on before we start to take our calls?
Yes, I do. I don't think the Care Network or the Care Administration Humanitarian Foundation has been contracted to do government work. To look for areas that the government needs areas that they can invest in. I think what the show is about is to help most impacted Liberians, especially those on the street. All right. MVTC, BWI, I know they got vocational stuff there, but I don't think we should go in that area now. Not now. What we should be focusing on, I think, is how can we help vulnerable people in Liberia? How can we, particularly those that are in the street, what can we do to provide some sustainability for them, some livelihood for them? I think that's what the discussion should be focused on. Instead of talking about MVTC and all of that,
No, so let me come in.
Yeah.
Mr. Wallo, it's not that we're not talking about any of the help and the prestige institutions BWI or any of these institutions. What we say is we want to actually, culminate our own process of identifying with the less fortunate or people that are in the streets that need help, something away from our society. So they were going to come in, but going with with the other organizations, like other institutions that you name, we're not going to actually to provide scholarship for these people that in RC or any other institution. No, we don't doing that. We're going to take people from the streets. Or equally so in doing so, we have to be careful too, because what we're doing is also has to do with willingness. Okay, if I want to help you, if you're in a drug crisis, okay, you are drug addict in drug crisis, you want to get clean. The first thing in there is you have to be willing to get clean. So if you're not willing, whatever somebody trying to do to you to help you, you will not be helped. So, to give my final thought will be what we're trying to do here is the government is what's the name? Integral part of what we're trying to do here. So we have to bring in the government in our cycle, okay? Like the youth and sports and other areas in government that can help us to push this through, because like we all been saying here, as an organization, Kia Humanitarian Foundation cannot do it all in Liberia. We cannot help all the victim citizenry or the people that are less fortunate in the streets. We cannot be able to do that on our own. We have to partner with some local organizations, the governmental organizations, to be able to help mass population in Liberia in getting them off the streets. But first of all, like I said again, is willingness. So if we want to go, if you walk to somebody now, you want to help them, you want to take them from the streets, what are they waiting to come from the streets and buy into what you're trying to do for them? So that's some of the challenges that we're talking about too. So that's why we don't want to be so quick, just running into the streets and helping people. We have to do a vetting process or exercise to go and ask these people and see who wants to come or who doesn't.
Yeah, Mr. Moderator, I'm just coming quick. I was responding, Chris, responding to my colleagues on the show. Mm-hmm. They're talking about the grandiose stuff about the country. And I'm saying, I don't think that's what this particular show is about. This particular show is for the Care Network, Care Humanitarian Foundation, how they can help vulnerable Liberians. Vulnerable Liberians. And one of the things that I suggested was that a vulnerable group of Liberians are the Zocos. Want to get them off the street. To get them off the street. Okay. Let me finish. I'm almost done.
No, I want you to
almost done. Let me finish now. Let me finish. Okay. Let me finish. I'm almost done. What can the Care Humanitarian Foundation do to get these people off the street?
Right.
And I think that's what this show is all about. So, and that's what we should be talking about.
So you done. So my question would be, okay, we are discussing here. We try to hang here and brainstorm. So what would be one of your top most recommendation or project that we can do, or what KHF can do to help take people from the streets that we can employ into our exercise, our process?
There are a number of things you can do, but what comes to mind readily is putting these individuals into a mechanic shop. You put them into a mechanic shop, you will design a program for them, right? Wow. Based on the skills that you want them to have. They're not going in there to learn how to repair transmission. No. What kind of a skills you want them to have? Like, for instance, we talk about tires, changing fluids, all of the fluids in the car. Those are readily basic skills they can get, and they can use that when that program is over. Again, the program has to be structured now. I just naming those, but it has to be structured. 3 months.
Right.
Yeah. And then when they finish now, you got to help them. You just tell us, okay, now you go home, go look for your own job or stuff like that. They're going to go right back in the streets.
I got a question. So is it prudent enough and a very good advice, okay, from your point, that you think the organization KHF can actually, Kenya Humanitarian Foundation can actually, be able to manufacture its own shop, like a garage, employ people that can do the training exercise and also make money from that, and also help these people that are coming to work. And is that a way is that something that you're talking about, or is that now exactly?
Yeah. Or you can look at that, or again, you can buy the equipments, like just using tire now.
Right.
Or you can buy the equipment and give it to them, and they pay back as they work on a very low payment plan, so they can pay back the money. It becomes them. It becomes for them, and then they'll have a means of livelihood. I'm not thinking, okay, go build stores, a whole lot of shops around the area, and then they work for you. No, that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at where you will make them their own employers, their own owner. So maybe 2, 3, 4 that graduate, they can bind together and open a shop. The Care Foundation will buy the materials for them to start off with, put them on a low cost payment plan, and it'll be able to pay back. All the things are workable.
Okay.
They are workable.
All right, that's
Okay, before I go to Andrew, I know Andrew and then come to Josh, and then we can go to the telephone. Mr. What is striking a point? I think some of these things, Chris asking the question because we see the same thing behind closed doors. Two ways. Yes, if you graduate, your mechanic will give you tools and say, well, this is what will be following you. I mean, you're doing your own thing. Maybe you start doing your own thing on the side. Your carpenter, then this is what we give you, your material, your equipment, and you start to fix your own chairs and make your business. Or if you open a garage for yourself to train people, one, you will make money there to help more. You will also use the same people that you train to train another group. And as they move from there, maybe they might go and open their own garage or whatsoever. So there are a lot of things. But I agree with Mr. Wallow that our concentration how to get these people. Now, even going to LOIC, going to youth and sports, the frustrating part in Liberia, you want to help, but they're pushing you around as if they want from you, the people you're talking to, say, listen, government's supposed to even encourage us to get more people off the street and give us the money like what they do in America. They will give you the money and you go and help her to do other work, but it's not in Liberia that way. So I agree that yes, let us concentrate on what we can do instead of running behind, because like I told Andrew yesterday, if we go to LORC right now, we say we got 20 students to come here, they don't care. Just to get in our LORC is almost $200. They want it from you. So you just paying people, they're not even going to give you a break. You see? So these are things. But let me come. Maybe Andrew got something else to add on to Wallow, and then we'll go to Josh. Then from there, we'll go back to Josh in studio and see if there's any telephone calls.
Yeah, Brother Kishan, and then to my brother and friend, Brother Wallow. We're not trying to create like a bigger picture to engage here that may seem very impossible. We are looking at as much as we talk about the low-hanging fruits, mind you, people that we even going to target going in the streets to get are people with different interests. That's what I want you to understand. They got different interests. Some of them are high school graduates. Some of them have not even entered a school door before. So these are people with various lifestyles and how you call and and trainings. So the issue of how do we intervene, it comes in different ways. We may not have the expertise as how do we build such a capacity. So when we were mentoring, like Dr. William talked about some of these vocational institutions, uh, it's about also the expertise that they have and what we're trying to also help in trying to fund or to be of assistance so that people get the skills that they need. So the problem we're trying to approach, it's not in one direction, but it comes with a lot of it comes with a lot of challenges. So you address that with the open mind and not just with one way of thinking to engage it. So that's what I wanted to say, that some will require vocational training, and the vocational training might be even skills that LOIC might provide, or BWR may provide, or maybe MVTC will provide. So we should not, narrow ourselves to just one in that direction. If someone is going to do, say, maybe a tire shack, that's something that they're interested in. But there are others who might want to do baking. There are others who might want to do tie dyeing. There are others who want to also do carpentry. So these are people with different interests and different skills and different abilities. It's based on what we interview people on and be able to bring them in terms of how do we meet them halfway. I think that's what I was trying to come from. Maybe Dr. Josh
Okay,
has another point.
that's good. Doc and Dr. Josh, that I let my brother him know too much time, but I him for no DR.
He worked for AG already, so let's give it to him. I really
Exactly.
appreciate my brother, Dr. George, from a long way from the University of Liberia.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
I'll go, Georgie. Go
No,
ahead, Georgie.
I listened to Mr. Waller, and there are a couple of issues that he raises. If we're going to target Zogos and people on the street, you still have to identify what hard skill you want to train them in, what they're interested in, one, and what hard skill you want to train them in. But as an educator and one who is focused on development education, my advice to the Care Foundation would be to firstly identify what are the needs. From a business perspective, what are the needs in the country? You don't just want to train people because people want raise chicken and raise goats. No, you want to know what are the needs, because every dollar you put in, you intend to multiply that dollar so as to be able to serve more people. And the way to doing that is to using the business model. The business model will be to identify what are the needs. How can I provide that need in a different way, whether LOIC, BWR, or any other vocational institution is providing it? How can I provide that in a more innovative way, in a cost-effective way? So much so that if I put in $1,000, in 2 years, I'm able to get in at least $3,000. So I'm able to reach out to more people and move out of Monrovia and go to Buchanan, Riverside, and all these different places. I would think that's the mentality, and that's where I'm speaking from. You can train Zogos. First thing first is Zogos require rehabilitation. And I'm not sure that is Kia's Foundation's focus. They need to be rehabilitated before they can be trained. Some say you can do it simultaneously. There's a danger to it, the danger of relapse. So you want to be careful, not just picking up Zogos who say, oh, I won't be carpenter, and you go put her in a carpentry shop. 2-3 weeks later, they get a hold of drug and they're gone.
Yeah.
So rehabilitation for the Zogos have to be first and foremost. So as your pro bono advisor, I would say stay away from the rehabilitation component. Yeah, stay away. You can work
Dr.
with
John,
rehabilitation.
You got it, King and Phil.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you want to work with Zogos, I would say you go to the rehabilitation schools or institutions that they have and recruit from there.
Thank you.
That's an option. Don't take them
Okay,
from the
guys.
street. Yeah,
Okay, guys.
recruit from there.
Okay,
Okay,
guys. Let me just.
before you go to the line, just what George just said, we were just on the line yesterday, and Kia, myself, and Chris, we were talking about the same thing. You got the Dallas Dillon place, you got the Bly. Their focus is to rehabilitate these kids.
Yeah.
Now, when you do that, we come in and help because the things that
And
we talk
recruit
about,
from
you
there.
got to rehabilitate them first before you can even send them to school. You can't just take that man from there and think that he's going to. No way, it's impossible. It's a hard thing. So
Sure.
that's a very good point, and that's the same thing we're talking about. So that's where you got to partnership with people because some group just there to take you off the street, wash you up, and make sure that you're okay and go back in society. But then they still going to go back to the same place. Some of them, yes, if you got to continue to
Yeah.
use them to speak to other Zogos, which is true. I agree with you, Doc. And let's go to the line. And George Ben saying, speak to me. Is there anybody on the line, George?
Okay, guys. You all said it all, but please, guys, if you're not talking, you have to mute your mic because it's feedback. Yes. But
Okay.
the numbers to call on the show, yeah, this evening conversation with the CEO 0770 570 477. The orange number, the Lone Star number 0881 871 670, and the WhatsApp number +231 880 51 417. The orange number 0770 570 477. These are the numbers to call and be part of the show this evening. And you can follow us live on YouTube, Care Network. Just go on YouTube and search for us there. Also, you can listen to us on the radio, 95.9. Guys, you can come out. On course coming, I will let you guys know.
Thank you,
Go
George.
back. Let's go back. And Mr. Wally, you want to add something to what George just said?
Oh yeah, I know. I'm not that naive to suggest that we go on Broad Street and start picking people and start picking people off the street. No, that's not what I'm thinking. I was looking at the picture that the intent is to get people off the street. That doesn't mean that I'm suggesting to the Care Foundation just go on Broad Street, pick anybody you want to pick from there because they're on the street now. I agree with what they're saying. Yes, you can visit other places, the Dillon Center, the other places, and and get people from there. They've been through the process. They will tell you the good ones that are there in the meantime, and those are the ones you want to take. You're not just walking up on Broad Street and take 5, 10, 15 people off the street from Broad Street and go put them into a shop, whatever you want them, or wherever they say they want to do. No, I just want to make that point, that clarification.
But you made a very good point on the time because you can it's not easy to get 100 and then you bring. So even if you're going to get the first 10, it will be 3 months or 6 months, and then after that you got the next 10. So we can still go ahead. So everybody, like you see, that's why we got to bring people from all over to just come and give us all the ideas. We don't know these things, and Chris got into it, but we depending on you that are listening to us on Facebook, on YouTube, and other people would need all the advices. We're taking notes, and we will not just do things without your help. Because if we succeed, it's only because of you, your contribution whatsoever. And I'm happy that Chris himself is open to all these things because hey, we don't know, but we try to get into something that we have no ideas whether it's going to be successful or not. And I always tell people no decision is right until it is right. So we all doing things and pray to God that yes, we'll get all the best ideas. Andrew, do you have something to add on? And I can go back to Josh again. And then see if you have anything to say, just let me know and I can bring you on. And let me call Josh and see if he go ahead, Andrew. You got something.
So everything we do is a learning process, and then it's as you get along, you get to know exactly what the challenges are. So It's not going to be a cast in stone as to how you approach it, but every view for everyone here on the panel is a great thing. I want to thank all of you with what you say. At the end of the day, it's about helping our own society, Liberia. The government is not going to solve all the problems, but these are issues that the government is faced with. These are the issues that even private sector or who are trying to intervene are also faced with. The issue of the Zogos or those on drugs, you find Joshua Milton Bly is involved with that too. You have even the DEA, which is a whole department for the government, is also dealing with. Then you have Dylan and others. Now, these are the vulnerable people that are in our society. And everything that we are discussing here is about how do we create skills for these people who have become also a problem to the society. But as to how we do it, it's about looking for the low-hanging fruits. Let identify the problem. Where are the crisis points? Others have done it. Others are into it. Government is into it. We are also getting involved to be a part of the process. So you do that by way of more research, by more interviews in the streets and know exactly what the problems are, so that you start from a point that you don't end up in a very vain results. So we have to be very careful in the process, but we have to work along with people who have also been in the process. That's what I have to say.
Yeah, thank you. And for those of you who are listening to us by the radio and here Radio 95.9, we want to say you can make your call. You can call in now whenever you want to call to give your views or your to make your comments, and at least your voice need to be heard. And also, I want to say thanks to Josh, thanks to Mr. Wallow. It's not an easy thing, and we'll continue to call on you guys. We have a lot of other topics, and we got in on this program. We have agriculture. We talk about health. We talk about and water and sanitation. So many things that the foundation want to get involved in. And some of you guys who been in the NGO era, maybe you will give us all the help we should, because we need to make this thing work. We're not going to jump the gun. We're going to take our time. We're not competing with nobody. And so we just want to make it clear we're not competing with anybody. We are doing everything. And I want to say to Chris again, thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you for giving back to your people. And, people say maybe you're trying to praise man. Yes, thank you for doing it. And we want to encourage other Liberians to do the same thing, because it's not an easy thing. I went there. I was just there for 2 months, and I know what it takes. You spend over 5,000 US dollar, and I'm sorry, Liberian dollar every day, not on yourself, just on the same people we're trying to help. I don't think it's okay for us to continue to give them in the morning, the afternoon, the evening, and we can't even provide any skills for them. That is why we are concentrating, and everybody's saying the same thing. The whole thing is about our disadvantaged youth, where we can get them from, how we can do this. But yes, we got to rehabilitate them before going, and we can expand other areas. So is there anybody who want to come in again? Josh?
I just want to say thanks. I got to get offline quickly for the opportunity. I look forward to engaging with you guys on this and other issues, as you go along. I'm always available to talk about the issues and partner in whatever ways possible. It was nice catching up with you, Chris, Andrew, and
Thanks,
Mr.
Doc.
Waller. Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
All righty.
Okay, thank you, Josh. We were talking about later on. Then have a good day and God bless you. And so, Mr. Wall, do you have anything? I think we have gone 1 hour,
Yeah.
23
So
minutes now.
yeah,
And yes,
I don't think if we don't have any call outs, anybody who wants to, participate, then we can probably wrap up soon or something like
yeah.
that.
So, Mr. Wallow, and if calls come in, fine, but I want to see, give me a closing, your thoughts on everything, and just summarize and whatever you want to say, you have the floor.
I know. I mean, I think I've said it all. In summary, as I said, there is a need to provide opportunities for those less fortunate in our society in Liberia. There's a need, a high need for that. And some of the ways the panelists suggested, yes, this evening or tonight, are ways that one can look into and pursue. You know, I mentioned tires because it's not the only thing. I think was just an example, and one of the easiest. I think one of the easiest things, you know, especially working in a mechanic shop, one of the easiest stuff. So I want to say thank you for the opportunity. I look forward. Anytime I thought this thing was going to be difficult as I talked to Pierre, but it's not. So I'll be available anytime. Anytime you think I can be of some assistance, just let me know. I'll come on.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Just we're not going to leave yet. And let me go to Andrew. And for those of you who are listening, if you're not calling, fine. And maybe you're not interested in this topic. But if I'm going to make the announcement and say, everybody, anyone who calls today will get $5, you will pick up that phone and call. But listen to me, I'm not giving nobody $5. The general himself telling me, you're not getting no $5 out of me. You know what I'm saying? So let me go to Andrew. Andrew, say, give me your closing.
Well, I think it was a pleasure. Interestingly, Brother Wallow, this is my first time too, though. This was my first time, so and to work along with my brother is something that it's a passion for me. It's a joy for me today. Chris, I just want to take up this time first of all to say thank you for your dreams every day, especially to be of impact to our own society in Liberia, where we came from. Trust me, when Liberia is happy, all of us are happy. Every day is what we dream about. To see a society you came from, when you see what is happening, it's a burden even on us who are abroad with every day is a call for some help. When a society can be more settled and with no offense to the government of Liberia, we've had a lot that we've come along with in terms of a broken society. But the question is like when will we ever get it right as a government? When will we ever get it right as a people? When will we ever get it right like others next door in other countries like Sierra Leone, like Ghana, Guinea? People are moving ahead. All of us, we make the government. If the government is not doing right, we need to also stand up. Again, this is not a political forum, but I'm just saying everyone is a political animal as to what affects us. If the bigger picture in terms of government is not working, it filters down to everyone. And that's why we have the broken society. I hope people are listening and that we all can work together as an institution, as a government, as a people to see exactly how we can move our country forward. Liberia is a great nation. And I think if we satisfy our people, it will be also easier for the government itself. Again, I want to thank you, Chris. I want to thank those in studio, especially George. I will be in touch with you. I want to thank you for what you guys are doing on the ground. And of course, the general, you being the roving ambassador, going up and down from here to Liberia, all up and down. I say continue doing what you're doing. I think we are making some progress, and God is going to bless us for what we do. Thank you.
Yes, before I go to Chris, and I want to let me bring Chris and let him say what he want to say, then we can best wrap it up. But again, Chris, I will tell you in public, and I will tell you behind closed, like what I tell you all the time is keep focused. You have already into this water. You don't worry about getting wet anymore. You choose to do it. And I want to say again to your wife, thank you, because I always say she's the neck and you the head. Because
Yeah,
if you start
yeah.
to complain, we're not going to see you again. You're not going to do this. And the way you carry yourself and the way you bring people around you, it's not an easy thing. And I will tell you again, and I challenge anyone, and you can prove me wrong or right. To see a Liberian who want to give back to his people. I know how much we have spent so far and what we are doing. And it's sometimes I say, listen, we gotta do something extra. So if I can put my face and you can put your face and everybody trying to come on, that because they see what you are doing, and I hope you continue. And I know there will be a light at the end of the tunnel. it's consistency. Once we agree to it, it can work in Liberia. I will tell you, do not feel discouraged. And to any other person, don't feel discouraged. I was there for this was my best trip ever. The hardship, I saw it and I went through it. Coming home 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the night, yes. I said we need to help our people no matter what. So give your closing, Chris, and then from there, we can wrap it up for the day.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to my elder brother Andrew Pierre. He's been very supportive in the background. He and his wife, my sister-in-law, Ruth, she's also in the background. I know she's watching. And my teammate Wallo. Let me just strike a little joke about Wallo. You know what Wallo was so particular about the tire shop? When Wallo went Labrador, he had a flat tire.
Look at the guy.
Wallo had a flat tire on Broad Street. Nobody was happy. He said, God, if we had something like this, Zoko doing tire, chichi tire, I'll be in the mess. So, yeah, actually, on a serious note, Wallo, I just want to say thank you for coming on. You actually one of the very renowned Liberians in the United States here, and that's why I brought you on the show to be an impact and an example.
Thank you.
So the general, thank you for what you have done. I've been telling you thank you from the day you came on. So thank you and continue to be who you are. George in studio. I know you guys are be sleeping today time like this, but thank you for getting up. Thank you so much. Okay, we're actually making strides in what we're trying to do here, and we're trying to affect our own nation, Liberia. We saw how devastating this country was. From the wars, the insurrections in Liberia. So any help we can give back to our country will be very, appreciated. So that's what we're trying to do. For me, it's not about what I can get, because when I was doing this, people are asking, what there for you, what you getting back? It's not about what I'm getting back. It's how you affect other people's lives.
Sure.
Before God can be able to bless you, I can just walk about, that's what we're doing. Okay, we want to be able to help people that don't have the opportunity to provide for their families, to do other things. So that's what we're doing. So guys, this should be our first panel going forward. Probably we're going to be having Wallo on most of the time, because when I invited him, he said he was very nervous to come on. Yeah, he said Chris said this is my first time. I don't know how.
All of us.
I said you will be fine. I said you're a teacher. You stay in front of the classroom, speaking to people. You talking. He said, but this is different. This is like radio, and this. I said, yeah, but you will still be fine. So thank you so much, guys, for this wonderful show we had today. So we were looking forward.
Thank you very much.
This show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
By the way of Radio FM 95 for now, we are open. If you're in the area, you can visit us. You can take a tour. We are open to business. The radio side, and also right near the station, we are located right on Uden Drive, opposite the Defense Ministry, which was the former Barclays Training Center adjacent Radical Market. And when you walk in, you'll never miss it. You see the big screen TV in front of the place, green and white. So come there anytime, and we will help you. We will do whatsoever you want us to do. And the Kia Radio, you can listen to us right now in 6 counties, and we're doing everything possible. We're the only radio station right now with a solar system. So when it comes to lights, we got it 24/7. When it comes to the internet, we are on top of things. So please follow us on YouTube and Facebook. Help us share our page, push it, let other people know so we can help other Liberians in the best way possible. So I want to say, I wish you guys, please, the new year is coming. Be very careful. Take time how you drive, and don't just think that you can do anything out there, but just be very careful. And let us pray for each other. This is the last Sunday in this year. And Josh, is there anything to say?
Guys, let me just add to this. Andrew will be a regular panelist moving forward. So you'll be hearing him and you'll be seeing him. You'll be hearing him on radio in Liberia. So Andrew, some people passport that you did not print, that you did not print and you keep to this country, you're going to be answering questions.
Someone just text me and said that Andrew want maybe to delay to go to America. He had my passport.
It didn't enter my
Maybe
mouth right there.
maybe
Thank you,
someone will
thank
soon
you,
call me for maybe someone will soon call me for water business too, because they know all of y'all.
You know what?
All of your
What?
friends say in life, they know y'all.
Maybe
Okay.
I want to feel me. I didn't go to the next class or something. You feel me in my
They
mouth?
are not guessing. She pay in marble water, so she granted that yeah. But
thank you.
anyway, that was nice. Those of you listen to us, you know, as usual, Kia Radio is among the best right now. I listen, and before going, let me brag about it. The president of the press union yesterday gave a very good speech, and he said the Kia Radio station will go places. When he saw things that we have in there, we had our retreat yesterday and was successful. And the
Right.
lecture, and you know, we try to do these things maybe every 3 or 4 months. We go to train our kids. There are a lot of smart children in our country who only need to be pushed. And we bring our own superstars. We're not looking for no superstars because we ourselves we are superstars too. So
Right.
Josh, thank you very much for what you do. Take time when you go, and please don't call me behind later on because I know you're going to call me. So take your time and go home. And everyone in studio, we love you guys. Hey, we are all family, and let us do what we're supposed to do. So thank you very much, guys. Y'all have a good day
Thank
until
you,
we can
guys.
meet next week. And that's it. And
Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you.
You, Josh,
welcome on board,
bye.
Mr. Andrew. And Mr. Waller will be calling on you all the time. So, Andrew,
Yes,
have a
sir.
good time and tell the madam hello. She's from Maryland. Eh? Your wife from Maryland.
She's from Baza.
Oh, from Bassa. Okay.
Baza
So,
woman.
yes, yeah, give me too much hard time. And Jeff and I one day, too much hard time right there. So, my man, Andrew, thank you very much for the time. We enjoyed the topic. So,
Thank you.
before we leave, what you see on this whole thing, this foundation issue on education and whatsoever. So, what you take from this conversation? There are a lot of good suggestion or ideas that people brought up.
Yeah. You know, we're not we're not reinventing the wheels. One thing that I do know is that we are adding on to what others have begun, and it's about how can we be of help to adding value to the ongoing intervention. And one of the things that I've also learned from this whole thing is that we are not here to condemn what government is doing or is not doing, but it's about how do we also be a part of that instrument that will bring about change in the process. I see my brother Desmond Krumah. He's in the back. I see a text from him. So these are interventional approaches that we are talking about, and it's all geared towards you know the well-being of our country, the people that are less fortunate, the people who are more vulnerable. These are people that we want to also bring along so that all of us can win. And that's my takeaway. And as to how we do it, it depends on how we work with people on the ground.
Yeah. And our next topic, education is a broad thing. It's too big. It's large. Man, you can't finish talking about it. But we
Mhm.
got maybe the next topic on health. But maybe we'll chip a little bit in education again before we get to health. And then we'll just continue the health next week on Sunday. So those of you, please follow us and share the page. You can also go to the Care Humanitarian Foundation on Facebook, and you can also follow us on Facebook, not the network, but the foundation has its own Facebook page. So I want to say thank you. And my brother, it was nice talking to you and welcome on board. And at least now, maybe someday I will rest because it's
I
not
know,
an easy.
right? Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll
Okay,
talk to you
good,
again.
good.
Okay,
Okay.
bye now.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. And we are off. And Josh is already home. And I want to say thank you very much for everything. So please be careful how you drive home today. And you know the year is coming to an end. The devil is basic. But listen, tell the devil to go to hell. Thank you very much. And God bless you.
you.